G'day, I'm Phil. Next month I turn 53, and over the last little while I've been thinking quite a bit about where my life's heading, and perhaps more importantly, the sort of man I want to be for however many years God gives me. That's really why I've started this channel. Not because I'm a doctor, not because I'm a fitness coach, not because I've got everything sorted out. Quite the opposite, really. The truth is, I haven't got it all together. But I do want to be a better man. And I want the second half of my life to be better than the first. I've called this channel Phil After 50 because that's exactly where I am. I'm into the second half of my life now, and I don't want to drift through it. I want to live it intentionally, one step at a time. One of the reasons I've decided to do this publicly is accountability. I've realised over the years that if I just keep trying to do everything on my own, I tend to go up and down, back and forth, make too many mistakes, and often end up back where I started. I thought to myself that if I share the journey honestly, the ups and downs, the successes and the failures, perhaps I'd have a much better chance of staying the course. And if somewhere along the way my experience helps somebody else, that would be wonderful too. I also realised that if I waited until I reached my goal weight before starting a channel like this, I'd probably keep putting it off. In all honesty, I might never do it. So this is me starting where I actually am, not where I'd like to be. Like a lot of people, I've always been heavier than ideal. Years ago, I actually lost around 40 kilos. But looking back, I don't think I did it properly. I lost muscle as well. And I've often wondered whether that contributed to some of the injuries and problems that came later. Back in 2021, I suffered a work injury. One morning I woke up and could barely move my right arm because of severe pain in my neck. Sleep became difficult because of the pain, and life changed dramatically. I ended up spending around 2 years away from work. To be honest, I spent quite a bit of that time feeling sorry for myself. There was anger, there was frustration, there was bitterness. And while all of that was going on, my weight steadily increased and eventually I developed sleep apnea. There were some dark days during that period. I'd only been married for 3 weeks when I was injured. My wife and I were trying to build a new life together, and suddenly I couldn't work. Naturally, there were worries. There were difficult conversations. There were moments where voices got raised. She was worried she'd end up having to support both of us. I was worried about what the future looked like. Looking back now, I understand why that period affected me the way it did. But I'm also thankful that it didn't define the rest of my life. One thing I'm actually proud of isn't anything spectacular. I'm proud that eventually I stopped feeling sorry for myself. I had the option of sitting on weekly payments and simply accepting that this was how life was going to be. But I didn't want that. I wanted to earn a living. I wanted to support myself. I wanted to support my family. So I found another path and moved into the security industry. Was it easy? Nah. Am I still dealing with health challenges? Absolutely. But I'm grateful that I made that decision. If I could sit down with my 35-year-old self, I think I'd tell him 2 things. Focus on your family and look after your health. I'd also tell him not to keep walking away from things when they become difficult. One of the disappointments in my own life is that too often I've started something, got tough, and I moved on when the wind was probably just around the corner. I don't want this to become another one of those things. I want to see it through. People might reasonably ask why they'd watch a channel like this instead of listening to a doctor or a fitness coach. The answer is simple. There are already plenty of doctors and fitness coaches on YouTube. What I hope I can offer is something different. A real person, real struggles, real experiences, a genuine attempt to grow through them and from them. I know I haven't got it all together, but I do want to become a better man. And if that somehow helps somebody else, that would be an awesome privilege. People sometimes ask what scares me. Of course I think about dying young. I think about disability. I think about becoming a burden to my wife. I think about missing out on future grandchildren if God blesses us with them. But perhaps more than anything else, I'd be disappointed if I never became all that God designed me to be. My Christian faith isn't something that quietly sits in the background. It's the very heart of who I am. Without Christ, I have nothing. Without Christ, I am nothing. My faith gives me hope. It gives me purpose. It helps me persevere. It reminds me to be thankful. And it continually reminds me that becoming a better man isn't something I can accomplish in my own strength. So what can you expect from this channel? Weight loss updates, gym progress, nutrition, working shift work. The wins, the losses, the weeks where everything goes well, and the weeks where everything goes wrong. There won't be any pretending. No miracle claims, no polished version of reality. Just an honest record of one ordinary bloke trying to become healthier and trying to become a better man. When I think about where I'd like to be at 63, I don't imagine having everything sorted out then either. I simply hope I'm a long way further down the road than I am today. I hope my health is better. I hope my family is flourishing. I hope, if God wills, there are grandchildren around. And I hope I'm still growing, because that's really what this channel is about. Growth. One step at a time. Thanks for watching. I genuinely appreciate it. And if you're on a similar journey yourself, perhaps we can encourage one another along the way. Take care, and one step at a time.